Now let's move on the issue about the food. Who produce and supply food? In which conditions? And do you produce food for your own consumption or buy or sell? Even buy or even sell? Here there are four key concepts, such as exogenous market price, and the shadow price. This is shadow price, and the transaction cost, this side and this side. Then, as we can observe, as we can see, there is a price bound with upper bound and lower bound. So for the upper bound, this bound apply for this bound, upper limit or bound is considered as purchase price or buying price, whereas lower bound is considered as a sale price, which means selling price. So with these key concepts, we want to see the explanation. Now, the point is the positioning of the market price. Market price is determined or is given to this household as an exogenous market, exogenously determined, exogenously given to household. And this household has a shadow price, which is determined by supply curve or value of marginal products, is considered, which is considered as a supply curve. And for the demand curve, this is given by the willingness to pay. So at the intercept of for this supply curve and the supply curve and demand curve, it is so-called shadow price is determined for this specifically for this household. And then, so far as we can see, this relation with inequality, which means market price is greater than a shadow price. Then we calculate the purchase price minus market price, which is shown or colored by blue, purple, no, blue, light blue, and it is less than yellow. Yellow, it shows or defined as this one: market price plus transaction cost, which is shown as the upper bound minus shadow price. Then that is we can see as this one colored by yellow. Then obviously what we can see is yellow one is wider than light blue. So which means purchase price is higher than shadow price plus transaction cost. Shadow price plus transaction cost, yellow one. And the purchase price is shown by this one. The transaction cost. No, okay. Purchase price is a little bit higher than market price. So this household would rather not purchase, not buy, would rather not buy any, would rather not to buy this food. In other words, this household produce some food just for their own consumption, which means self-sufficient, and then they don't buy food from the market. So we express this situation as no participation, no market participation, which means no purchase. So technically it is called market participation, no participation. This household doesn't participate market. Now, what about the lower bound? Lower bound for sale price. The positioning for market price and shadow price is the same. And then the transaction cost for sellers is greater than shadow price minus market price minus transaction cost. And in this case, light blue is wider. So this household cannot sell less than sale price. Sale price. I mean, the buyer would like I can buy this food at the sale price, but so far as assuming that this household also need to spend the transaction cost almost exactly the same amount, then this household cannot sell. Cannot sell at the sale price, assuming that the transaction cost is exactly the same. Then this household would rather not to sell. This situation is expressed as no participation, no market participation, which means no sale. So summarizing these two cases, what we can say, this household which has a shadow price in this price bound is given with a transaction cost. So once this self-sufficient household produce the food with under this situation, once this household, this type of household, which has the shadow price in within this price bound, and this household doesn't participate in market, both purchase or sale. Both not buy, not sell. And technically it is called and this household doesn't participate the market, no participation to the market.